2. Choose the correct option from the given taxonomic category. Taxonomic hierarchy is the system of arrangement of taxonomic categories in descending order. It was introduced by Linnaeus in the year of 1751, who initially proposed 5 categories such as class, order, genus, species, and variety. The placement of individuals or organisms in taxonomic categories is determined by their specific similar characters, dissimilarities, complexity, and evolutionary relationship. So the answer for this question is option A, species. Question number 3. A desired gene segment is inserted at the SAL restriction site in PBR322 plasmid. The resulting plasmid will confer resistance to plasmid. PBR322 contains 2 resistant genes, namely ampicillin resistant gene and tetracycline resistant genes. These resistant genes are used as selectable markers. Besides, this plasmid has a variety of unique restriction recognition or restriction sites for restriction endonucleases. Insertion of a DNA segment into the plasmid using enzyme. The answer for this question is option A, ampicillin. Question number 4. In the life cycle of Plasmodium vivax, some stages may survive for long periods in liver as dormant stages known as. The most common and widespread malaria parasite is Plasmodium vivax. It has a dormant stage in the human liver, which makes it difficult to eradicate. This dormant stage increases the possibility for the parasite to reach the vector for sexual reproduction. The sporozoites invade the cells of the salivary gland in the vector and the hepatocytes in the human. Some of the sporozoites develop into hypnozoites in the human liver. The hypnozoite is activated when it recognizes the same anaphylaxis specific protein which it had previously recognized as the sporozoite to invade the salivary gland in the vector. So the answer for this question is option B, hypnozoites. Question number 5. A normal woman whose father was hemophilic marries a normal man. What percentage of the pregnancy is affected? Hemophilia is an X-linked recessive trait and therefore shows its transmission from normal carrier female, that is heterozygous, to male progeny. Due to the presence of defective form of blood clotting factor, exposed blood of affected individuals fails to coagulate. The possibility of a female to be affected by hemophilia is extremely rare, as the mother of a such female has to be at least carrier and the father should be hemophilic. That means father becomes unviable in the later stage of life. The hemophilic females dies before birth. The family pedigree history of Queen Victoria shows a number of hemophilic descendants as she was carrier of disease. So the answer for this question is option C, 50% sons are affected. Question number 6. In lac operon, the regulator gene is denoted as I gene. Here I indicates inhibitor. The regulator or I gene in lac operon synthesize a repressor protein to regulate the functioning of the structural gene. So the answer for this question is option B, inhibitor. Question number 8. Beverage sake of Japan is obtained from. Sake is also spelled. Sake is a traditional alcoholic drink in Japan, also known as Nihansu, Japanese liquor. It is the country's national beverage. Sake is essentially rice. So it has many variations of rice flavors from sweet to steamed to burnt. Process to make sake is multiple parallel fermentation. In this process, starch in the rice is converted to sugar, which is followed by alcoholic conversion. So the answer for this question is option B, rice. Question number 9. Choose the incorrect statement. Here there are four statements are given. Biogenesis is any process by which life forms produced from earlier life. This theory discards the theory of spontaneous origin or theory of abiogenesis proposed by Aristotle. Francesco Reddy and Lazzaro Spallanzani, through their classic experiments, independently disapproved the theory of spontaneous generations. The very environment, absence of oxygen, so it was reducing in nature. Gradually, cyanobacteria evolved and made the environment oxidizing in nature. This was due to the oxygenic photosynthesis activities performed by these primitive prokaryotes. So the answer for this question is option C. Francisco Reddy and Spallanzani disapproved the theory of biogenesis. Question number 10. Which of the following human diseases can be investigated by transgenic models? Transgenic animals are used for testing the safety of vaccines, drugs, studying diseases like cystic fibrosis, hemophilia, cancer, and Alzheimer's diseases, and study of complex growth factors such as insulin like growth factors, and have provided new insights into the genetic origin of certain diseases and have improved our understanding of pathological process on the cellular level. So the answer for this question is option D of the above. Question number 43. Read the following statements. From the given statements, which of the above statements are correct for angiosarcoma? Sarcoma is the tumor of connective tissue, the tissue that formed from mesenchymal cells or mesodermal cells. Angiosarcoma is a type of sarcoma that is cancer of the endothelial cells that line in the lymphatic vessels, walls, or blood vessels. Most of the tumors of lymphatic and visceral blood vessel walls undergo rapid division, that means erratic, and are carried by the lymphatic flow or blood flow easily metastasis to distinct sites and are cancerous, that mean malignant. So the answer for this question is option C. From the given four statements, statement A and C are correct about angiosarcoma. Question number 44. Xenia refers to the effect of pollen on. The direct effect of pollen on embryonic and endospermic tissue is known as xenia. Xenia is the effect of pollen grains on the fruits and seeds of the plant. The pollen has significant effect on the next generation of the plants. It could have effect on the fruit color, size, maturity, etc. Xenia effect results in the different colors of the maize kernels. Xenia effect results in the different colors of maize kernels. So the answer for this question is option A, endosperm. Question number 45. Choose the correct option regarding the process in which morphogenetic movements takes place and cells occupy their definite position to form three germ layers. Gastrulation is the process by which a blastula converts into gastrula. During gastrulation, morphogenetic movements occur and a three-layered embryo made of ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm enclosing a new cavity called as Harkenteron. Neurulation is the embryonic stage that forms neurula. Notogenesis is the development process to form notochord by epiblast. Morpholaxis is the process of regeneration of lost or dead tissue. So the answer for this question is option B, gastrulation. Question number 46. Given diagram illustrates an evolutionary tree. From the given diagrammatic representation, which of the following statements can be deduced from the given evolutionary tree? The given cladogram is indicating that all the life forms arise from a common ancestor having similar genetic material, codon, and central dogma can be considered as a evidence to it. Mitochondria arise due to endosymbiosis of aerobic bacteria and similar endosymbiosis of the photosynthetic bacteria give rise to the chloroplast. Thus, it can be interpreted that earlier eukaryotes might be anaerobic, later they become aerobic. Plants, animals, and fungi all have mitochondria, but chloroplast is unique to the kingdom Plantae. So the answer for this question is option B. From the given statements, 1, 5 and 6 statement are related to the given diagrammatic representation. Question number 47. Choose the correct option regarding discoid stem without any stored food. Some plants adopt as the underground stem modification system in which stem that is derived from stem tissues exist under the soil surface, and one such example is a bulb. The bulb has highly condensed disc-like or discoid stem with its upper surface ends a terminal bud with fleshy, scaly leaves. The adventitious roots arise from the lower region of the bulb with the presence of tunica. A tunicated bulb is covered by a sheath of dry scale leaves. Example, onion, Allium cepa, and garlic, Allium sativa. So the answer for this question is option D, Allium. Number 49. Cockroach, the body cells discharge their nitrogenous waste in the hemolymph, specifically in the form of. In cockroach, the excretion is performed by Malpighian tubules. The glandular and ciliated cells lined each tubule through the hemolymph. The tubules absorb nitrogenous waste products and convert them into uric acid, which is excreted out through the hindgut in the form of potassium urate. The cockroach is uricotelic. Along with Malpighian tubule, the fat body nephrocytes and uricose gland also help in excretion. So the answer is option B, potassium urate. Question number 50. Walking fern is referred so as adiantum belonging to Pteropsida or Phelicopsida is called walking fern. The leaf tip is used for the vegetative propagation. The Pteridophyta is classified broadly into four classes such as Psilopsida, Lycopsida, Spinopsida, and Pteropsida. So the answer for this question is option D. It spreads and propagates vegetatively by its leaf tips. Question number 51. The haploid content of human DNA is. The human genome is a complete set of nucleotide sequence present in 23 pairs of chromosomes in the cell nuclei. The haploid genome, which is found in the germ cells like sperms and eggs before the formation of diploid zygote, consists of nearly 3 billion DNA base pairs. It is approximately 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs or 3.3 GP for the haploid genome, and double the amount or 6.6 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs or 6.6 GB in the diploid genome. So the answer is option B, 3.3 into 10 to the power of 9 base pairs. Question number 53. Read the following statements and select the correct option. Human beings have 23 pairs of autosomes and 1 pair of sex chromosomes. All the ova are haploid, formed by females are similar in their chromosomes type, that is 22 plus X. Therefore females are homogametic. Male individuals are produced. There are two types of sperms. 50% of sperms bear X chromosome, while the remaining 50% has Y chromosome besides the autosomes. There is an equal probability of fertilization of the ovum, with the sperm carrying either X or Y chromosome. If ovum fertilizes with 22 plus X chromosome type sperm, the zygote develops into female. That means 44 autosomes and double X allosomes. And the fertilization of ovum with 22 autosomes with Y type of sperm results into the male individual with 44 autosomes and XY chromosome. Thus, the genetic makeup of sperm determine the sex of the child. So, the answer for this question is option B. From the given statement, only B is incorrect. Question number 54. Sexual deceit is employed by. The relationship between two organisms of different species where both organisms are benefited and none of two are capable of living separately. Orchids of genus Opirus use sexual deception to promote pollination by bees. So one of the petals of the flower bear a resemblance of to the female bee. in size, color, and markings, thus attracting male bees. The male bee perceives it as female and pseudo copulates with the flower. In that process, it pollinates the flower. It shows an example of co-extinction and co-evolution. So the answer for this question is option A. Ovaries to get pollinated. Question number 55. What is common to Lantana, Icarnia, and African catfish? Lantana, Icarnia. Icarnia is commonly called as water hyacinth, and African catfish, that is Clarius Garipinus, all are exotic species which are invasive in nature. Alien or exotic or non-native species are in the new species entering a geographical region. So the answer for this question is option D. All these species are neither threatened nor indigenous species of the India. Question number 56. The toxin of Bacillus thuringiensis is activated by. In Bacillus thuringiensis, Bt toxin is produced by the CRY gene, that is cry gene. It releases the toxin in an inactive state, but once it enters the insect gut, the alkaline pH of gut activates the toxin. In cotton, cry1AC and cry2AB are effective against bollworm, while cry1AB is used to control corn borers. So the answer is option C, alkaline pH of insect gut. Question number 59. Chemiosmotic hypothesis. The chemiosmosis is the process of moving protons across the membrane resulting in the generation of an electrochemical gradient that can be used to drive ATP synthesis. In 1961, a British biochemist Peter Mitchell proposed chemiosmotic hypothesis to describe the mechanism by which ATP synthesis occurs in chloroplast and mitochondria. In chloroplast and mitochondria, both the ATP synthesis is linked to the development of a proton gradient across the membrane. So the answer for this question is option D. All of the above related to chemiosmotic hypothesis. Question number 60. A commercial fiber of seed epidermal origin is. Cotton is a soft fiber which grows in a protective capsule around the seeds of cotton plant of a genus Gossypium. The fiber is almost cellulose. Under natural conditions, it increases the dispersion of seeds, and the fibers of cotton are long and single-celled epidermal cells. So the answer is option B, cotton. Question number 61. Intermediate common to fatty acid and carbohydrate oxidation is. Acetyl CoA is a common intermediate for fatty acid and carbohydrate oxidation. Long chain fatty acids are degraded to form many acetyl CoA, that is two carbon molecules, by a process called as beta oxidation. During the carbohydrates metabolism, acetyl CoA is formed after link reaction. The link reaction, if sufficient oxygen is available, each 3 carbon pyruvate molecule enter into the mitochondrial matrix. So the answer for this question is option B, acetyl CoA. Question number 62. STDs may lead to the complications like sexually transmitted diseases, commonly called as STD, venereal diseases, or reproductive tract infections. STDs are found across all age groups but are the more prevalent in the organism of age 15 to 24 years. The answer for this question is option D, all of these. Question number 63. Botanical name of black gram is Vigna mungo, or the other common names like black gram, woodbine, black mung bean, etc. So the answer for this question is option D, Vegna Mungo. Question number 64. This one is used during hemodialysis to prevent blood coagulation. Heparin is an anti-clotting factor or anticoagulant that prevents coagulation of blood and undamaged blood vessels. So the answer for this question is option C, heparin. Question number 65. Among the following, where do you think the process of decomposition would be the fastest? Earthworm are referred to as the farmer's friend because they help in breakdown of complex organic matter as well as loosening of the soil. Similarly, decomposers break down complex organic matter into inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water, and nutrients, and the process is called as decomposition. So the answer for this question is option A, in tropical rainforest. Question number 66. CJD caused by prion protein is seen in prions. In modern medicine, certain infectious neurological diseases were found to be transmitted by an agent consisting of an abnormally folded protein. The agent was similar in size to viruses. These agents were called prions. The most notable diseases caused by prions are bovine spongiform encephalopathy, commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and it is analogous variant Jacob disease in humans. The answer for this question is option C, humans. Question number 67. Select incorrectly matched pair. Mendel experimented with a Gordon P for 7 characters. In each case, he found that in a dissimilar pair of factors, example capital T, small t, only one is available to express its effect, that is called a dominant factor. The other factor which does not show its effect is known as recessive factor. So the answer for this question is option D, multiple alleles. All alleles present on different locus on same chromosome. So that is incorrectly matched pair. Question number 68. In man, there is an enlargement of hand, feet, nose, and lower jaw. These are the symptoms found in. It is caused by the hypersecretion of growth hormones after adolescence. The bones abnormally increase in size. So the answer for this question is option C, acromegaly. Question number 69. How many nucleotides will be present in a DNA of 20,000 base pairs? A salient features of DNA double helix structure of bDNA proposed by Watson and Crick. DNA consists of two polynucleotide chains. The backbone of the DNA is constituted by sugar, phosphate, and base. The two chains of DNA run in anti-parallel fashion with polarity in one and polarity in another chain. The bases of two parallel strands are paired by hydrogen bonds to form the base pairs. Adenine forms two hydrogen bonds with thymine from the opposite parallel strand, and vice versa. Similarly, guanine binds with cytosine with three hydrogen bonds formed. In a complete turn, there are 10 nucleotides on each strand connected by 10 base pairs, and hence one complete turn will have 20 nucleotides from both the strands. So the DNA is having 20,000 base pairs will have 40,000 nucleotides on each strand connected by 20,000 base pairs. So the answer for this question is option B, 40,000. Question number 70. Though the total number of follicles in the ovaries of a normal young woman is about 4 lakhs, the duration between menarche and menopause is limited. This is attributed to the total number of follicles in both the ovaries of a normal young adult woman is about 4 lakhs. out of which an approximate 500 eggs mature because many ovarian follicles during primary oocyte stage undergoes degeneration. This degenerative process of follicle is called as follicular atresia, and such follicles are known as atretic follicles. So the answer is option A, follicular atresia. Question number 71. In cell cycle, new cell organelles are formed in the sequence of events by which a cell duplicates its genome, synthesizes the other constituents of the cell, and eventually divide into two daughter cells in termed as cell cycle. There are two main phases that takes place during cell cycle. One is interphase and another one is division phase. The interphase lasts for more than 95% of the cell cycle. The M phase lasts for less than 5% of the cell cycle. During interphase cell cycle, new cell organelles are formed. So the answer for this question is option D. Question number 72. Skin of birds contain some of the general characteristics of aves. They are genuinely flying vertebrate having feathered bipeds, wings are modified forelimbs, have streamlined body and possesses beak. Modified hind limbs are present which generally have scales. The skin of bird is without any gland except the preen gland or oil gland or uropygial gland, which is for the purpose of lubrication of feathers, and it is present at the base of tail. So the answer is option C, oil gland in the region of tail only. Question number 73. The chronic use of drugs and alcohol result in the use of drugs and alcohol during adolescence may produce long-term effects. It could lead to heavy consumption in adulthood. The chronic or excessive use of these addictive drugs and alcohol damage the nervous system and liver, causes cirrhosis. These drugs and alcohol also produce harmful effects. So the answer for this question is option C, cirrhosis and nervous system damage. Question number 74. Go through the following matches. From the given matches, which of these are correct? From the given matches, China rose shows twisted estivation, Kelotropis shows velvet estivation, Gulmer shows ascendingly imbricate estivation, P shows descendingly imbricate estivation. So all are correctly given. So the option is D, correct. Question number 75. There are several ventricles in the brain, and some of these ventricles are connected by foramen of Monroe. This foramen connects X, which are located in the Y of the brain. X and Y stand respectively for the human brain has four ventricles which are interconnected with each other. The ventricles are fluid filled spaces which are filled with and the help of circulation of cerebrospinal fluid. One and two ventricles are present, one in each cerebral hemisphere. They are also called as lateral ventricles or paracel. The third ventricle is present in the diencephalon. It is also called diastole. The fourth ventricle is present in pons. It is generally called as minor part and medulla oblongata. It is also called as metacell or myelocell. So the answer for this question is option D. Lateral ventricle and third ventricle in cerebral hemispheres and diencephalon. Question number 76. The first arch sound is produced during each cardiac cycle. Two prominent sounds are produced which can be easily heard through stethoscope. These are known as heart sounds. The opening between the atria and ventricles are guarded by atrioventricular valves. The atrioventricular valves between the right atrium and right ventricle has three flaps or cusps and is therefore called the tricuspid valve. So the answer for this question is in the beginning of ventricular systole due to close down of AV valves, that is atrioventricular valves. So the correct option is option C. Question number 77. Which of the following is correct? The action of hormones which interact with membrane bound receptors. From the given four statements, the hormone which interact with membrane bound receptor are basically peptide derivatives. These hormones are hydrophilic and lipophilic. These hormones are hydrophilic and lipophilic and hence they cannot cross the plasma membrane freely. So the answer for this question is option C. They generate secondary messenger. So that is the incorrect statement from the given four statement. Question number 78. Chloroplast. Chloroplast are organelles, rather specialized compartments found in plant and algal cells. The first role of chloroplast is to conduct photosynthesis, where the photosynthetic pigment chlorophyll captures the energy from sunlight and converts it and stores it within the energy storage molecules ATP and NADPH while freeing oxygen from water. So the answer for this question is option D, are involved in the synthesis of sugar. Question number 79. Which of the following pairs of animals has non-glandular skin? Aves have dry skin and don't contain any glands except preen exocrine gland at the bottom of the tail. So the answer for this question is option B, chameleon and turtle. Question number 80. The chitinous exoskeleton of arthropods is formed by the polymerization of N-acetyl-glucosamine is a monosaccharide derivative of glucose. N-acetyl-glucosamine is formed by the amide bond between glucosamine and acetic acid. So the answer for this question is option C, N-acetyl-glucosamine. Question number 81. Given 1, natural selection, 2 is variations and their inheritance, 3, survival of fittest, 4, struggle for existence. According to Darwinism, which of the following represent the correct sequence of events in the origin of new species? So the option D is correct sequence. Struggle for existence will come first, variations and their inheritance will come second, survival of the fittest, that is the third one, natural selection is the fourth one. So that is the correct sequence. Question number 82. Evolutionary biologists believe that the success of mammals is largely due to their ability of osmoregulation and thermoregulations are the two processes that the body uses return to homeostasis. Birds and mammals are warm-blooded animals maintaining fixed body temperature despite changes in the external environment. Osmoregulation affects osmotic pressure while thermoregulation affects the internal temperature of an organism. So the answer for this question is option B, thermoregulation and osmoregulation. Question number 83. The system of Bentham and Hooker includes the following number of families. Bentham and Hooker classification includes 202 families in their book Genera Plantarum, in which 165 families are of dicotyledons, 3 families are gymnosperms, and 34 families of monocotyledons. So the answer is option A, 202. Question number 84. Dash united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principles and called it the Sutton worked on grasshoppers and Bovary worked on sea urchins. Observed that the behavior of chromosome was parallel to the behavior of genes during meiosis and mitosis. Sutton united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principles and proposed chromosomal theory of inheritance. So the answer for this question is option B. Sutton chromosomal theory of inheritance. Question number 85. Extripolate leaves are present in. Extripolate leaves are present in Tridax procumbens. It belongs to the family Asteraceae. Leaf without stipule is called as extripolate leaf. Example Solanaceae, Liliaceae, etc. Example option B. Tridax procumbens. Question number 86. Spodia, flagella and myonims are present in. Mastiamoeba is a genus of class Archamoeba in the kingdom Protista. They may exist as amoeboid flagellates, aflagellate amoeba, multinucleate amoeba, and as cyst. So the answer for this question is option C. Mastic amoeba. Question number 87. Which of the following is an example of gene therapy? Replacement of faulty gene by a normal healthy functional gene is called as gene therapy. Adenosine deaminase ADA deficiency can lead to severe combined immunodeficiency. In gene therapy, the cells are extracted from the bone marrow of patient and cultured. Functional ADA, that is cDNA, is then injected to the patient's bone marrow. The process is repeated as the cells are short-lived. So the answer is option D. Introduction of gene for adenosine deaminase in persons suffering with severe combined immunodeficiency disease. Question number 90 is the DNA molecule. Two polynucleotide chains are different in the DNA. Two polynucleotide chains are present which have opposite polarity. One chain has 5 to 3 direction polarity while another chain has 3 to 5 polarity. In one polynucleotide chain, at one end 5 phosphate group is free for making phosphodiester bond and on the other end 3 OH group is free. So the polarity is decided based on the position of free OH and phosphate group. So the answer for this question is option B, polarity. Thank you very much for listening our videos. Those who are watching our videos, you are requested to like, subscribe and share to your friends. All the best.
லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, கமெண்ட் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.